Hi, my name is Patrick Tabon, and I'm a current student in CPHA's Leader Development Institute. It is with great pleasure that I get to share a little bit about myself, my journey through LDI, and my LDI project, and really talking about my commitments to help lead the pharmacy profession. Before I talk about my experiences through LDI, I wanted to introduce myself. I consider myself a bit of a nomad who ended up in Southern California 4 years ago after completing my acute care residency in Seattle, Washington. I graduated from Washington State University, but originally am from the island of Maui in Hawaii. My current position is an assistant professor of clinical pharmacy at the University of Southern California. I truly love building relationships with others, and this is primarily done through my positive and caring nature. I would consider myself a curious person, always wanting to learn more and also share what I learn with others. Lastly, I'm a bit crazy. I enjoy the chaos of life, and my wife always says that I'm at my best when I'm faced with multiple challenges. I've started to believe this because I feel most calm when there is chaos. I also wear many hats, one which is still brand new to me, and that's being a dad. Again, if chaos makes me feel calm, then I might as well add a newborn to the mix. After getting accepted into CPHA's LDI, I had some personal goals for myself upon completion of the program. In pharmacy school and working in Washington State, I was a very active member of the state and national organizations. I held leadership positions as a student and served on committees. After moving to California, I was not the most active member in CPHA, nor did I renew my membership each year. I think this change came from me being disconnected from our colleagues in California, as I felt like an outsider, or so-called an out-of-stater. So I made it a goal of mine to change my own perception and get involved with CPHA and the colleagues that live around me in Orange County. I also reflected and saw that my leadership skills were getting rusty, as I wasn't doing anything to sharpen them. I kept finding excuses, and in turn those excuses limited who I wanted to become. Looking at my 5-year plan, I had lost pieces of myself along the way that truly kept me advocating for the profession and for our patients. Lastly, I knew my daughter was on the way, and when I applied to LDI, I wanted to challenge myself not only as a leader in the profession, but also a leader in my personal life as a father. So was I able to achieve the goals I set for myself after being in the LDI program for the last 11 months? I'm really happy to say yes, and I have grown both in my professional and personal life as a leader. Here are just a snapshot of things that I learned to improve as a leader professionally, but I do want to highlight that one of the biggest benefits in this program is the ability to work with inspirational colleagues who bring a wealth of experience and perspective to help you grow as a leader, not just during the program, but even after you complete the program. Now I want to talk a little bit about my LDI project. One of the greatest things about the LDI program is that your project doesn't have to be something different from what you do on a day-to-day basis. My project directly relates to my work environment, and using the tools I gained over the past year and resources that was shared within my cohort, I was able to stay focused and push my project along. And not just push it along, but also have some passion about what I was doing. My project centers around transitions of care services in the community pharmacy setting. My goal was to develop pharmacy-based services to improve patient outcomes during transitions of care, so patients moving from the ER to the hospital or SNF and then back to their home. My LDI project initially started as a post-discharge medication reconciliation pilot at my previous worksite. This pilot connected patients to a pharmacist after discharge to discuss any barriers to care or any issues with their treatment plan. The pharmacist then would discuss these issues with the patient's primary care provider and provide recommendations to improve care. The pilot received great feedback from both our patients and medical staff and continues to be a service offered by the pharmacy team. I'm currently collaborating on a program that provides discharge medication delivery to the patient's bedside, also known as a Meds to Beds or Meds in Hand program. It is currently in development with a timeline of 3 to 6 months to implement. Again, the focus of my projects being how do we get patients to safely transition from hospital to their homes and their families. My hope is that I'm able to collect data once my projects are up and running to continue to show the value of pharmacists during transitions of care. I also wanted my LDI project to align with CPHA's vision statement in optimizing the health of all Californians through pharmacist care. LDI gave me a newfound confidence in my leadership abilities and was able to take on bigger projects and teams this past year. This includes developing trusting relationships with team members to create action. I was also able to align my projects with my vision statement, which meant more passion and reward in what I was doing on a day-to-day basis in order to accomplish my projects. LDI also served as a great resource as others in my cohort were able to introduce me to colleagues that could help me design, develop, and execute my projects. I want to thank you for your time, and I also want to end with a quote from Lao Tzu, as it inspires me to continue to build upon what I learned in LDI in the next coming years. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." Thank you again.